What is going on? I'm Zmot. We are going to do another thing of Warships, but there will be an operation or attack or two at the end. Code Zmot already in that shop in all of the games, of course. And this tech tree is awful. If you're stuck, if you're not in Diamond yet, if you can't figure out the attacks, you want to try this. We have got hot pots and a laser beam and critter launchers and 160% building health and 100% building damage, just absolutely ruining people's fun. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, every season I do 2 different tech trees. One of them has fun things like Seekers and Heavy Choppas and Rocket Choppas and Bullet, and one of them has nothing fun at all. The only proto that we have given up in the proto key category is that shield gen to get the hot pots. Otherwise, we're using tick 1 cryoneers with Zookas, with tick 1 mechs, with some rifles and Kavan and some heavies. It is awful. Just awful, awful, awful. But we're about to fizzle our way into Diamond, so I wanted to show you there is an alternative in case you're wondering. And every season, there are people out there who say, I finished first, but they still won. Well, that's just scouting, my friends. If you're having problems where you think you should be winning, but you're not, please hit me up in the comments. I can explain more. Maybe I need to make a video on that because every season there's at least one person. Anyways, gonna show you this. Fizzle, 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 fizzle. Almost no one is finishing this base. Anyone in the log? No. So it has been done, and it can be done. That's not going to be the focus of this video. I'm not going to show you my attacks. I'm just going to show you theirs, and we can kind of chuckle along together. It's rough out there. It's hard out there for a pimp. Is that how the song goes? That was actually a decent movie, to be completely honest. Surprised me. That was years ago, though. Probably not a lot of people in the comments have seen that. They're just trying to come in with heavies out front and bombardiers. Now, quick note, don't send all of your heavies at once like this person did. You want to kind of stream them in a little bit so you don't have all your heavies out front dying. And not super sure on cryoneers with this strategy, but those critter launchers, argon lasers, these lasers hit hard. Watching them take down rocket choppas is super satisfying. And I gotta say, I haven't watched a lot of these replays because it is painful to watch. It's even more painful to watch than it is to attack this way, I think. But this person will be able to clear the bases if they do go get the heavy choppas. But I suppose they've already given up one of their protos for the bombardiers, so maybe that's the issue that they have at hand. And are they going to get that engine room? Yes, they got a couple there. There are still 4 left. You notice that people started to move to have 1 back there, and just getting Wreckazoid. Dog Colony had a decent attack. Jacames had an even better one, and so we will show that next up. They are going right. They do have heavy choppas and rocket choppas, and Everspark coming in, trying to get rid... Oh, they just lost a rocket choppa already. That is rough timing. Quick note, send your heavy choppas first, then your rocket choppas. Rocket choppas are faster, so that is the mistake that Jacames made, and they have already lost 2 rocket choppas, maybe, I think. Regardless, again, Rocket Choppa's getting out front, good shock there, and now Everspark coming in, and I'm not sure which ability they're using. I'm guessing they're using the Critter Swarm, and I personally like the remote hack better because you get to pick off a boom cannon if you time it well, but that is a little bit more difficult. And notice how quickly their heavies are disappearing, and that shock was rough. So again, tough to criticize people that are just trying their darndest, but just trying to give you guys a little bit of feedback on how you can do things slightly better. And I'm surprised they didn't get all engine rooms, to be completely honest. They must have wasted a lot of GBE early on, because they should be able to get deeper in here, and there goes their last rocket choppa. Second last, I should say. So Jacames with a good attack, getting in, but Ooh, there was one here where someone got, oh, look at that. Matatwin got all but one, so we'll show you that one as well. And what you're going to notice in common with all of these is they all have heavy choppas. Heavy choppas definitely required. And one thing they did here, those rocket choppas, like that was questionable. Just know that that laser will wreck your rocket choppas if you let it, so you gotta be a little bit more careful. I like to put my rocket choppas over here and my heavy choppas up here, my rocket choppas back there. That way the angle is more like this. But they did a decent job, and they've managed to avoid it. And notice that they have not dropped all their boats yet, so very smartly done, sneaking things in. I don't think that was no, they were not limited by GBE. Not sure on farting out that back rocket launcher was the best call, but maybe they're trying to throw critters for that back a little bit. So, tough to say. I think that they're thinking they can BART that out, but with 160% building health. If you don't have barrage, you're not arting things out. And it's just going to be a rough time. And just, like, this is not fun. They're just standing there watching and praying as their troops are slowly getting shot down, a little bit late on the critters. And I think they were hoping to get some critters probably on this or this, but look at that. They're still sending GBE back towards that rocket launcher. There's no benefit of doing that. Would have been far better keeping their GBE for up front, and then we'll go up to 4 times mode. They finally got rid of the rocket launcher, which wasn't doing anything anyways. So I guess once you get your mind stuck on something, you just keep going. And they are running out of time in a big way, slowly but surely. And then back they go, trying to get onto that engine room, and then realizing the machine gun, and then just no time. So good attack, and it's just ugly. Like, we'll go to Minnow. It's just not fun attacking these bases unless you have laser rangers. Laser rangers, there are some players out there using them against these clump bases, and for players who have unlocked the laser rangers, I tip my cap to you, because they make players that have bases like mine reconsider their life choices, because it is great. They crush them, you lose, and I hope more people unlock laser rangers. The only problem is they suck against the spread bases. So, one more thing in the season. I love the fact that some players have gone and got laser rangers. Definitely not all that many. This person sending things towards the back in a smart maneuver, and that's why you have mines around all of your rocket launchers, and doing a decent job here. That back, what is that called? Heavy choppa, not long for this world. Do consider using, like, don't use the energy drink. That is the worst of the 3. If you're going to use bullet, do consider using either shock knuckles or taunt. The energy drink just does not work. So they're going to get that back one. They are starting to lose. Look at that. Just losing all of their bombardiers just that quickly. Like, this building damage is beyond silly. So Minnow had the right idea and just the wrong ability. Shock knuckles would have gotten that hot pot stuck up. It would have gotten the shock launcher, and would have kept Bullet alive a lot longer. So, some basic tips, things that you guys already know about, like bleeding your troops in a couple at a time, don't send all your heavies in, even keeping a heavy choppa towards the back is always a good idea. Now let's see if we can get our way into Diamond, and there are way better ways to. I'm going to get rid of one of these boats of mechs, just using 3 on very specific bases, and we're just gonna walk these guys in, and you're gonna be bored, and we're gonna finish this base, and I am gonna hopefully get into Diamond. That is my only thinking right now, and I shouldn't have released Kavan yet. I like to drop him on the left, so he likes to go to the left a little bit, and then as things start to filter their way in, we're going to throw in artillery, because otherwise Kavan's going to walk over there and we're going to get frustrated. And now we're going to get some riflemen, which are going to give us a little bit of extra mine clearing and a little bit of extra damage. And this is not going to be sexy. This is going to be awful. And there's going to be nothing good about this attack, but we are going to win in theory. So those guys clearing all of those mines, that mortar is distracted, the machine gun is going to get cleared, those critters are going to go clear even more mines, and we're going to clear some mines back here, which is going to distract a boom cannon or maybe a rocket launcher for half a second, and then in we go. We've basically cleared all of the important bits here. Might as well get rid of that shock launcher, because otherwise it's going to be a pain in the butt, and it's going to be 5 artillery probably, is my best guess, but we've got lots and lots and lots of GBE, and now that we've gotten rid of the shock launcher and all of the things around it, we can get rid of that rocket launcher, and we're in pretty good shape right here. There is going to be a bit of a problem as far as that mine at the corner, so we'll get rid of it, even though we're probably going to kill our heavy in the process. Rocket launcher's gone. Mortar is gone. We're basically done here. Not pretty. Our opponent is... We're definitely relying on our opponent to fizzle, and I can actually hit a mine now. I don't know if you saw that or not, but we hit a green mine, and I did not lose all of my troops. So this account did not have any troop health until basically now. So I am going to get some critters back there, hopefully to get that engine room down eventually, but for right now, just need to walk through this base. And our opponent still making moves a little bit at a time. Kavan still needs to do a little bit more healing, getting our troops forwards, hoping that Kavan doesn't die. He's moved from the boom cannon, which is great. Couple extra troops coming in, and we are going to get, I think, all of the engine rooms down. Might as well throw a shock on that machine gun just to make gosh darn sure of it, even though it looks like it probably wasn't required. We'll throw some critters here just to make gosh darn sure that all of our troops can make their way to that last engine room. And I think we're in diamond, my friends. Definitely not my standard video style. This is very much... And like, it almost hurts me to do this. I don't like beating players in this way. And I don't know about you guys, but it just... I very much play Boom Beach a little bit emotional. Very much a little bit. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Zmot. But that's why I don't play with Bombardiers. They're just boring to me. So probably could be much higher rank if I had Bombardiers, but just can't bring myself to do it. And just like RC can't bring themselves to get those last 3 engine rooms, and also can't bring themselves to retreat. I don't blame you. Waste my time. I have wasted your time by having this stinky, ugly, boring base. So don't retreat. I mean, by all means do retreat. It's a nice thing to do, but if you don't, I don't blame you at all, because this base is just brutal. We're going to wait 20-ish seconds, I suppose, and then we are into diamond. Just, whoa, see that? I haven't noticed that before, the way it kind of like disappears there to make that little gappy gap. There it is. That was weird. Getting that chest, which is going to help us because now we can move towards something a little bit more fun, a little bit more troop damage. Also, picking up a new troop. I don't think there's anything else that I should be getting. I mean, that I can't get. Rocket Choppas, no. Could get some more troop health somewhere. There is some more troop health somewhere here up there. But for the second, Scorchers will give me a little bit more fun, and they open up more troop damage. So I am going to max my Scorchers here. That is going to be a bit expensive, but we're going to get some troop damage next. So need to keep pushing this account forward, because I need to get to at least 21.50 and can probably get potentially 23. Couple days left of the season. I consider the end of the season to be Friday. Let's be honest, I'm not playing on weekends. Maybe you guys are. Hopefully this has helped you. Now let's find something more fun to do. Red line. Can't attack. There are 9 attacks with 51 minutes. Let's jump to a different tasky forcey, shall we? Okay, this one should be a gimme, and I actually have the right troops loaded. But I'm going to switch them a tiny bit just for something fun, because we do have this protector. And by the way, the protector against the red line open actually worked surprisingly well. I had one boat that just kept my bombardiers alive. let's just show you, shall we? So here we go. Red line with bullet and bombardiers as per standard, but with one boat of those beautiful, beautiful villager ladies. And notice there are some critter launchers over here, and critter launchers are scary. That's why I put bullet on the right-hand side. And quick note, you know what, we're going to cover red line open. This line right here, that is where your first smoke needs to go. If it is just this side of the smoke, you can get bullet in position with only 2 smokes. I see people do 3 smokes all the time. If you use that line, and then again, see this flare right here? We're going to wait till it gets to 50%. That way bullet gets underneath the smoke, the flare expires, then all of your troops stand in position. Using a flare, but not using a flare, both in the same spot. And then notice that smoke is exactly where I told you it would be. And then 2 perfect smokes. We still have the delay. Bullet is in position. And then that flare does expire just before the smoke. And the fact that bullet's on the right-hand side means that critter launcher can't reach him, which means that bullet will stay alive, and that's not the important bit. The important bit here, though, is the protector. So we've got all sorts of bombardiers out. Shock on the left, shock on the right. Notice that the shock on the left, I managed to shock all 4 rocket launchers, which I almost never do. I always screw it up. Then a middle shock, which also shocks that shock launcher. And now, that's not the important bit though. Right here, this is just the standard open. Getting one more shock out because I don't have enough troop damage. And then we've lost a couple bombardiers, but that's just because I didn't think to press taunt because I was asleep on the wheel. And that grappler does become an issue every single time. At some point, bullet's going to wander into its range, it's going to grab him, and then we're going to be stuck with no bullet and some buildings to clear. So notice on this left-hand side, that bombardier right there has a shield, gets shot, both of them shot by a boom cannon, both of them still alive. New shield, new shot, and that is amazing. Like, this right here is exactly why the protector can be fun. You definitely have to find some ways to make them fun, but look how many shots these bombardiers take from those boom cannons, and we clear the entire front, or most of the front, I think. Definitely, those shock launchers do become a problem, but we've gotten rid of those boom cannons, we've gotten rid of a couple of the critter launchers, and very, very, very good stuff happening. So there's still 2 minutes left somehow, some way. So, excuse me. Protectors coming in super, super clutch here. Just doing fantastic things for our bombardiers. And if you have a better way to attack red line, I'd love to hear it. This is the way that I've been doing it for a long, long, long time. And we managed to get rid of the shock launcher and the critter launcher there, and then I think I ended up pulling out a little bit because what you don't want to do is damage those front 2 shield gens. If you're ever going to do this attack, do not damage those front 2 shield gens. Bad things will happen. But look at this, still going, still getting some shots in. I think I might get like 1 or 2 more in just based on time running out, but pretty darn great. All thanks to those beautiful, beautiful protectors. And now we are going to do another operation attack with the protectors, and this is definitely, whoa, I have 0 time savers. Wow. Definitely not something I recommend, but speaking of operation attacks, we're going to do Machina or Machina, however you want to say it, and I like to do 7 boats on this left-hand side. If you drop your first smoke, see this line right here? And then this line right here, just to the right of there. To the right and below in the water, you can get 7 boats and a hero underneath 2 smokes without a heck of a lot of difficulty. So I send 1 boat to this right-hand side to collect some gunboat energy. Probably won't get much because of that boom cannon, but it means that we save a smoke on the left-hand side. Then it's just 1, 2, 3, and if you want to shock all 6 of these rocket launchers, you need to shock on that corner of that rocket launcher. You guys know probably all of this always, but just in case there's one person out there that doesn't, these are the thoughts that go into my operation attacks. I don't count GBE anymore unless there's a very specific weird hit for Machina or Machina, even if we just let all of these guys die, we're going to save some gunboat energy. So no, we're not going to get, actually we're going to get 3 GBE here. They cost 3 GBE, so we end up at a net 0 or a gross 0 or whatever the heck that accounting style calculation is. And they're going to walk forward and maybe get one more shot and maybe hit. There we go. We ended up plus 3 GBE. And now that corner flare, that smoke exactly where I told you to put it, and then just dropping at the very, very, very outside edge for magical things. And now we just see if we can get all of our troops underneath that smoke. Now, I have no idea how well protectors are going to chase our troops. I just lost the delay. Awesome. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. I said I was going to save a smoke, then I think I ended up costing myself an extra smoke. Protectors not doing a great job of following those flares, but that might actually help us a little bit as we go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Got all of the shocks, and now all that we need is one more of those beautiful, beautiful battle orders. Is Brick doing wonderful things. Might as well throw a med kit on them. Decent hit. More importantly, though, we did get those protectors, and then they might have saved us a couple troops just from boom cannons. They're not going to do much against machine guns or rockets, but for single shot defenses, they do magical, fun things. So do try to mix them into your attacks. Today is the War Factory. Should we do that? Do we have enough troops for that? Let's have a quick look. I would like to do War Factory. This is... Someone do War Factory with just bullet and 8 boats of protectors. You could go right. There could be a bunches of fun there. It would be silly and dumb, but I probably will do that on my own time. I won't waste yours with it. We will end the video there. Still getting my feet back under me as far as content goes. Thank you for your patience, your comments, your suggestions, your ideas, all of the things. I keep waking up in the middle of the night coughing, and as a result, I have no voice and I have no energy and yada, yada, yada. So hopefully you guys are feeling far better. The snow is almost gone here. There's light past 6 p.m. Spring is around the corner, so there are some things to look forward to. Let me up in the comments. Let me know what you're looking forward to, what you're doing on Boom Beach, what you're doing for operations, how you're using protectors, what you think about the fizzle meta, and what your warships goals are. I am Zmot. Thank you for coming in, liking, sharing, subscribing, code Zmodding, and that is all. Thank you for coming in.